my relation. Let go of your fears, for now is the time to take courage. My relation, look, for this is a beautiful life. Beauty is everywhere. You are here today, my relation, and nothing is more beautiful than that.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Rhonda Unleashed. I'm your hostess, Rhonda Thomas, and I just want to do a little bit of recap from last weekend. With the show, I kind of talked a little bit about dreams and a little bit about being the kind of person that I would have wanted when I was younger. So, that being said, the very next day, my daughter, she needed me to be that person. Now, a lot of times when she, does something that she shouldn't be doing, or she's out there, living her life and everything, she doesn't want to come home. And I kind of, get a little bit frustrated, a little bit angry. I sent some not very nice text to her, and I just, to me, when I thought about it the next day, I had to stop myself. I actually wasn't very angry. I've actually calmed down a whole lot from how I used to be. So I calmed down. I just waited. It's everything happens for a reason, and I don't know what that reason was. I was actually missing work, and usually I get really frustrated, really angry, but I just took my morning process and I just calmed down, and everything would work out anyway, the way it was supposed to work out. If it wasn't meant to happen, it wouldn't have happened. So I took it as a learning lesson and a learning tool at the time. And I was going to go and on with my day. And right when I was going to take my little Gugum to the babysitter, she called and she was going to come home with a cab. I ended up going to get her anyway, in the end of it all. I usually give her a lecture and everything, but I just chose to listen. I just chose to listen to her. I didn't say anything, and she just opened up, started talking, which is different. So I thought about it, and why not be the person that I would have wanted to be to my own daughter? A lot of times I think about these are the kids and students that I have at school that they have less of what she has. I try my very, very best to give her everything that I didn't have. I grew up, with my grandparents. My mom wasn't around. My dad was around. Osco sometimes. So I really wanted to be there for her, and I did. I was there for her, through my ups and downs, and she's seen a lot of things that she probably shouldn't have seen. That's for another podcast. So we'll move on. So I just wanted to share that with you guys from last week, because I know I kind of talked a little bit about it last week. So this week I kind of would like to talk a little bit about dreams, purpose, really. I've been just, I don't know what it is. It's kind of just coming all to me like this and like this, and sometimes I'm just like overwhelmed with like, ooh, I should talk about this. Ooh, I should talk about this. And sorry, pardon me, I have a little bit of a cough. It's not COVID, everybody. So I have some, warm water and honey here in front of me. So um, I'll try and keep my cough down. Anyways, so I've been writing it down. A lot of times on my social media, I share things that kind of come to my head and come to my head and come to my head, and I'm gonna practice just writing it down. Write down all the jot notes for it, and put it towards podcast and talk to you guys about the different things that are going on in my head. I know I have a lot to share. I have a lot to share, and a lot of things that have been happening in my life, recently, and in my past. Things about where I've come, how far I've come. From being pregnant 15-year-old to 44 and started my own podcast. So, you're never too old to start something new. You're never too young to build your dream to where you want your life to go. Everybody, sometimes I was, when I was younger, I would be told that your life should go like this. You do this, you do this, you do this. You have kids with a man, you have to stay with that man. And that was a hard time for me, because it ended up being not a very good experience. But that will be for another time as well. Sorry, I'm kind of getting a little bit sidetracked here. I'm going to turn my speaker off on my computer here. I've been trying to record this and trying to get it right and trying to do it right. And I keep re-recording. And so I had to think to myself, that's not the way you started in the beginning. You just did it and you got it done, and you put in all the little glitches and your mistakes in it. And in life, that's the way it is, right? You learn to be more prepared. You learn from your mistakes. And I had everything all set up here, and then I tried to redo it and redo it and redo it and redo it and redo it. I think this is about my 5th or 6th time. So I'm just gonna push right through. Okay. So still need a coffee. A couple of questions that I just talking to myself right now. But a couple of questions that I want to ask myself because I talk to myself is what inspired me to be a podcaster? Now, let me think. It would have had to be last year. I was kind of going through a little bit of a hard time. I just broken up with my fiance, and I was drinking a whole lot, hanging out with some people that I probably shouldn't have been. But then I started to hear different stories, and from different people. And then I was like, hey, you know what? There's probably other people like that that are going through that same experience. Why not share your story and then share it with the world? You know, because I always say this, not only First Nations people go through things. You know, there's people around the world that go through hardships. And why not share those stories and share them with the world? You know, I'll say this and I'll say it again. I think that, and I truly believe that if you share your story with somebody, you're allowing that person to carry it with you, for you. No, not for you, with you. So you don't have to carry it alone anymore. So I think that's what kind of inspired me to be a podcaster. Now, I've also done a lot of research on it, what I should do, how I should do it, and everything. And I'm still learning. I think I put a little bit too much thought into things sometimes, where I'm like, it needs to be like this. It needs to be like this. I have to do it like this. And a lot of times it's like, no, man, just do it. Sorry. I kind of caught myself there a little bit. But just do it. Just go out there. Just get it done. And you live and you learn from your mistakes. That's just it. You live and you learn. So that's what I'm doing. And, you know, practicing, being a little bit more consistent with being on and releasing the podcast every Sunday. So Monday morning, it's there. Okay. So my next question is, has this always been your purpose? And really, I've always wanted to help people, you know. I just didn't know how sometimes. I've always wanted to help Mother Earth. I just didn't know how sometimes. And I think my purpose is where I am right now. You know, exactly where I am right now. I am a teacher. I'm grade 3-4 teacher at St. Francis Bilingual Cree Elementary School. And my students, I love them. I love them so much. You know, I'm actually meditating with them and smudging with them daily. I know before, when I was teaching out in Onion Lake, I used to, you know, meditate and do yoga with my students, but I wasn't consistent on it. That's the thing. I think a lot of times I started, but then I didn't follow through. I kind of stopped halfway through, and then I would try again, and you know, students, kids, anybody, adults, we need consistency. You know, if we want something to change and we want to be that change, then you need to be consistent with yourself, but also show that consistency to the people around you. Sure, of course, you know, people fall. And, you know, it's human nature. People are going to fall. And the thing is, you need to get back up. You get back up. And the faster you get back up, sooner you can get back on that right path. A lot of times in my life, I've fallen, and then I take a long time to get back up. You know, now I'm, you know, being a little bit more consistent and for the past 3 weeks, we've been meditating. And at first the kids were like moving around and, you know, sneaking around underneath the desk, thinking it's a game and everything. But I sit there and I meditate, and I can hear them and I can listen to them. And then after we're done the meditation, I kind of, this is why we're doing this. This is why we're doing this. And, you know, and I talk to them. calmly. And they listen. And now they're just quieter and quieter. And now more of my students are coming in because I had sporadic, I wouldn't have like a full class. And now I'm, pretty much a full class. Some students that I haven't even met yet, but they'll come. Everything will happen at the very, very right time. Perfect timing. Next question. What would you say to those people who are just starting to chase their purpose or starting to get to know their purpose? Well, for those of you who are just finding your purpose, I think the biggest thing that I would have to say is to pray about it. Is that really what you want to do? Is that something that makes you happy doing it? A lot of times I've heard, money, 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 money. That's a big thing, which is rightfully so because, money makes the world go round. And a lot of times we end up chasing that money, chasing that money, and chasing that money. Now, when I first became a teacher, I've had people come up to me and say, why? Why are you being a teacher? There's so much doors that are opening in trades, especially for women, First Nations women. Go into a trade. You make so much more money. And, granted, I probably would have made more money. But it's not something that I wanted to do, Money is, to me, will come. It will come. I truly, truly believe that. And as long as I stay on my path and stay on my purpose, then money will come. Sometimes we need to let go of that regular job that you don't really like anyway. Chase what your purpose is and where you want to go in life. Makes your heart happy. And this makes my heart happy. Doing this podcast makes my heart happy. I haven't been so excited to do something, but I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, and I want things like this. This needs to be done, check. This needs to be done, check. And this is how it needs to be done. But I'm learning how to let go of trying to control everything, because in life, you can't control everything. You can't even control anything, actually. You just go with the flow. You live in the present moment right now, and you walk with your purpose. And I think I just answered my last question. So my last question was, do you have any advice for people who are struggling while they are going towards their purpose? And I gotta say, I did struggle. I think the biggest thing for me was just getting started. Just getting started. I know I talked about it a whole lot. I researched about it. I didn't know where to start. There's so many platforms that you can put a podcast onto. There's, Spotify, there's YouTube, there's, Facebook, all the social medias. But I think for podcasting, it's mostly YouTube and Spotify, or another place called Anchor. But I am, and that's what they call podcaster. So I'm a podcaster. I put my stuff out there, and I'm still learning. And I just yeah, I'm just gonna do it. So New Year's Eve, I just went out and did it, and I'm happy. I'm actually really happy. I'm learning how to just stick onto one topic. Because if anybody knows me, I kind of go from this topic to this topic to this topic to this topic. My mind's kind of like, I want to do everything. I want to talk about everything. But I just kind of wanted to talk about what inspired me to become a podcaster today. And I think it would have to be some old coworkers from back in Onion Lake. You ladies, beautiful, beautiful souls. And I would actually, not only my old coworkers, there's also a couple of ladies in Lloydminster. You girls know who you are. I'm gonna come out and see you girls soon. And so get comfortable. I know you all like to take selfies, so you got to be comfortable with being in front of the camera. I'm excited. I'm actually really excited. I'm actually putting something together on audio. Kind of, putting some music into it, different sounds into it. This one is just mostly for my social media, for my Instagram, my Facebook, and it's follow my page. Oh, and for my YouTube channel, it is Rhonda_Unleashed. So, with that being said, I think that I'm going to say good night to everybody. I would like to tell everybody that you're all beautiful. You keep yourself looking fine, and love y'all.
My relation. Let go of your fears. For now is the time to take courage. My relation, look. For this is a beautiful life. Beauty is everywhere. You are here today, my relation. And nothing is more beautiful than that.